Brandon Snell, and this is my mobile apps programming project proposal. And for this project, I'm going to create an exam scheduling and tracking application. Where I work, which is Disability Support Services, we do special conditions testing for students with disabilities, and we proctor a lot of exams. And I thought it would be cool to have a little Android application that could help schedule and keep track of exams that were being taken and exams that were finished and that sort of thing. So when you first launch the app, you'll get an initial screen of today's date initially, and a list of all of the exams that have been scheduled that are ordered by ongoing or not started yet. And you can change the date by clicking on the date up at the top, and then it'll launch a little dialog picker, and then you can select whichever one you want. If it's in the future, then obviously it'll only show exams that are scheduled for that day. None of them will be started. And if it's in the past, then all of them will have been finished. And a finished section is also going to be on here. So there's ongoing, not started yet, and finished. And you can schedule exams. So if you click on this little schedule exam button, it'll take you to a real simple screen that is just only the required information, no bulk. I know on our sheets that we fill out, we have a lot of information on them, but this is a more bare bones and a quicker way of doing it. So all you need is the student name, the professor name, the course title, and the professor name and course title are only needed if we haven't yet received the exam, so that we know who to contact and what class to get the exam for. The exam date is just a button that launches the same date picker from the previous screen, and when you select a date, the date shows up there, the time scheduled, and then the approved accommodations, which would be if the student gets extended time, or if they have reduced distraction, or if they require some kind of assistive tech such as CCTV or the ability to use a computer on their exam. And when you hit submit, it just puts it on that day as a not started yet exam. So if you were to click on one of the exams in this list, for example, the screen that I've mocked up shows clicking on a not started yet but scheduled exam. So if you click on one of those, you get to a screen that looks similar to this. It has the student name and the professor name and the course title, and then it has the exam date for when it's scheduled, the time that it is scheduled for, and the allowed time that the student gets. That's with their accommodation time. So if the class is originally an hour and 50 minutes long and the student gets 50% extra time, then they get 2 hours and 45 minutes to take that exam. So that's the time that gets put on here, not the time that the class gets, the time with accommodations. And then here are just the accommodations, the abbreviations for extended time, 50%, reduced distraction. The start time and finish time are not applicable because the exam has not been started yet. And for this example, we have received the exam. So say I hadn't received this exam, you would edit the exam and then you would just change that to yes. And if I wanted to start the exam, you click Start Exam. It would take you back to this screen, and then the exam that you originally selected would be moved up to ongoing exams, and then the time left would start to tick down. And if I click on Edit Exam, it takes me to a screen similar to this that has a couple more lines for the other information on there, the exam received, namely, and it automatically types in all the information that was originally here. Just allows me to edit it, and then when I submit it, it just changes this one to what I've edited here. Reschedule exam allows me to, it just pops up a little date picker, and I can just select a different date and submit that as a quick way to quickly go through this, because changing a date on an exam is very common, and also canceling exams is very common. So you just cancel exam, you hit submit on a little dialog picker that pops up, and then the exam is gone. There's no record of it. If you cancel it, it just deletes it entirely. So if this exam was an already started exam, this exam button wouldn't say start exam, it would say finish exam. You click on finish exam and it would just automatically put the finish time as the time on the device that you clicked, and then it would move it into the finish section, which isn't shown here. What I would also like to do is make it so that exams that we have not yet received but are scheduled appear in a different color. So say I hadn't received this exam yet, it would be kind of a reddish color to know that I need to get that exam before 2:30 when the student comes in to take it. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.